there. You ready for an adventure?
I'm ready.
Rob and I are on a little adventure today. We are going to check out some spots on this river. Couple fords that should be here, and if they don't pan out, well, I'm stuck. If they don't pan out, I have a couple spots that I've been to before that we should be able to find a few Civil War things. So we're almost to the first ford we want to check out. So give us a few minutes. If I can get Rob to help me off the rock. Just kidding, Rob. We'll see in a few minutes. There's no muskrat trap. So this is a muskrat trap. That's called a conibear. Been in the river a long time. It's probably not really usable anymore. Go ahead and carry it on out of here, but I find a lot of those in this river. All right, let me give you a little update. I haven't really found anything worth showing you yet. Rob is still up where I think the ford might actually have been, although I didn't really find too much there. Up around the bend. You know, I found a few things. Got a fork that I do not believe is Civil War. And this I'm not sure. Almost, I thought it might be a pot shard, like a cooking pot, but I'm not so sure about that. Some sort of base to a, like a tin can. Just dug this. That is the leg to a potbelly stove, I would think, or something very similar. And I found this anchor actually right where we first put the boats in. And I just thought I'd keep that for a little bit, let you see it. I don't know, it looks almost like it used to be a scale weight or something. I'm not really positive about that, but I think somebody was using it for a boat anchor. That's really about it so far. And this is a piece of a fishing reel. And that's about it so far. Really beautiful out here today. I saw a bunch of turkeys, so hopefully I got a good shot of that. And a bald eagle was down here, and a big owl came flying out of this tree just a few seconds ago. Flew across the river and had some like critter in its claws. I couldn't tell if it was a squirrel or a rabbit, but it was a happy owl because it had a meal. I didn't get the camera on in time though. Rob will eventually catch up to us, I hope. Well, I do really hope, because he's got the truck on the other end. It's a long walk along the road back to my vehicle, which is way up that way. All right, I'll let you know as soon as I start getting into something better than that, which is a big drum of some sort that's rusting away and falling apart, and all those little pieces are going to break out. I break off of there and just litter the river with it, so there'll be lots of chirps just downstream from here in a few years. But there's already a lot of chirps here because there's fence wire and cans and all kinds of other stuff. So, all right, let's get back at it. So I have an interesting signal here. I don't know what it is, but it might be something worth looking at. It's not quite like a artillery shell signal, but it reminds me of one, so I thought I'd just get you out just in case. It's right in the right, it's got the right numbers. I mean, that sounds pretty good. It's like a layer of gravel, and then it turns into mud. All right, yeah, see, I don't feel it yet, so I'm gonna have to dig some more. Let me put you away. When I get a little closer, we can actually feel it with the magnet. I'll get you back out. So that's the hole. You can see the black silk coming out of the bottom. I went ahead and dug it out because I could tell by the feel of the magnet it was not an artillery shell, but you can see that it's got some nice old type of rivets in it, old style rivets, so that could be quite old. And it's down below a layer, you know, 8-10 inches of gravel and silt into a, or gravel and sand into a layer of silt. So, all right, that's positive, but that's not what we're looking for. I'm also looking for pawpaws. I haven't had a good one yet this year, and I think I may have missed them actually. Might be past the season. I'll let you know in a minute though, because I have seen some trees. I got an iron signal. Thought I'd dig it to see if there's a horseshoe, but I don't think it is. Looks like there's a ring on it there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of break off this stuff. I don't think it's anything good, but it is. God, it looks almost like a piece of chain, I guess. Yeah, so that's just an old piece of chain. Some weird links on it. A ring there. Yeah, I'm not going to say that's anything good, but we'll keep our eyes open. It was a halfway decent signal. I mean, it's a good area for a ford. It's nice and flat, but actually most of the river looks like this. So I could have had fords anywhere, but you know, a lot of it depends too on what's on each side of it. I mean, there could be a road right there that would make them want to cross this flat area instead of the one up there. or there could be a gap in the mountain over there or whatever. So I'm not giving up that we have not found the first one we're looking for. And I can promise you this, we'll find something today, because I've got some spots down here. Once we get to them, you'll know it. Not too far below where I just dug that piece of chain, but I'm looking across there and I see a curious sight. Rob's up there somewhere, and this right here is actually an island. Part of the river's on the other side. You can see where it cuts through there. And look, there's a giant pile of rocks over there. Now that pile of rocks is on the island. Why is it there? It's not like a farmer drug them out of the field and dropped them over the side, because that's an island. It's not a big island either. So we're going to have to go over there and check that out. I suspect, now that I'm looking, you see there's some rapids down here and some other big rocks. So there may have been a dam there for a mill, and that might actually be part of the dam system. The dam system, but you know what I mean. Let's go over and look at that real quick. Then we'll come back across here and keep on going down, okay? You're just getting a little bit of a closer look here, and you can see that there is a pile of rocks and it continues across that channel. I'm not going to go over there because I really want to get down, because again, that's just a little island right there. So the chances of there actually being a lot of stuff right there isn't as good as being on the side where people would live and you know, do the stuff that they do above a dam, like cut ice in the winter for the ice house and stuff like that. So let's go back to the shoreline over there. Let's just keep working our way down to what appears to be a dam down there, just above what would have been the dam, but unfortunately it's all silted in. You can see there's like automobile tires and a lot of junk in here, so I'm not going to be able to hear any of the good stuff. It's going to be underneath all those things, so I'm not really going to hunt this too much until I get down to some better soil. See, like there's another tire there. It's about the 20th time I've seen in a short stretch. Now look over here, here's some rocks, so we'll start detecting there and on down to where that was definitely a dam at one time, and all those rapids are the stones that made up the dam that are all washed down now. Well, almost to the rocks, and I got another muskrat trap. That's the second one I found. I hope it's not the same one I found before though. Maybe it fell off my boat. I think that one is a little bit fresher looking than the other one though. Well, I did find this lock in the middle of those rocks. I mean, it's not a very old one obviously, but it's a good non-ferrous signal. Rob is catching up to us, so hopefully we'll start to get into some better stuff than this.
I got two of pawpaw.
Oh, you got a bunch of pawpaws. Yeah. Those are nice ones too, aren't they? Way to eat a pawpaw. This is the way I like to do it. Just break it in half, kind of like you did, and squeeze like that. You don't want to eat the skin because it's really bitter. I don't know if it'll hurt you, but you just eat the inside. There's giant seeds in there you probably don't want to swallow. It probably won't hurt you, but that's what you eat right there.
You made a mess.
I mean, yeah, I always make a mess. Now, that wasn't a great pawpaw. Not quite sweet enough. That one might be better. Really soft. You want them soft as you can get them. This one's much softer. It's probably a better one. Want it?
Num 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 num.
It's not quite right. This one's the best one because it's really soft. You get them when they're actually turning brown. That's when they're the sweetest.
Yeah.
How's that? I try the other half? Yeah, I don't want that half. Jeez, Rob. Come on, man.
Nothing wrong with that half.
Let's try this out. Well, that was better, but it's not really as tasty as some I've had. The taste can vary quite a bit from tree to tree. Well, patch to patch anyway, but not bad. Thanks, Rob.
It's a few things.
That's a big old chunk of brass there. Nice little buckle. Hard to say whether that could have come off a belt or a harness, or don't know.
I think there's lead in there.
Might be full of gold coins, Rob.
It could be.
You know, that could be all the treasures of some other metal detectorist. One of my old buddies, he saw it's with the good stuff in like a cigarette foil pack in his pocket, and then when he get home, he was an old guy. He just like throw it out, started throwing away all of the buttons. It was funny. He did it more than once. I guess what we're going to do is go ahead. I'm going to keep kind of moving down, and hopefully we'll get into a better spot down here. Where we can actually get some good old stuff. I think we're getting close. Just hang in there. Well, that's kind of weird. I just found an iron, but it's not like the old flat irons that you normally find in the rivers. You know, you just set on wood stoves and heat up. This, I think, is an electric one. Really heavy. I suspect it's probably an early electric one. But wow, how'd that get here, huh? We're out in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere, I tell ya. I'm actually about down the river, probably a good half mile from when I last talked to you. I really haven't been finding much. Rob is still way up there somewhere. I did just find an animal leg hold trap that is technically, you know, live, ready to roll and snap your fingers if you know, got them in there. You can see the pan there and the jaws are wide open, but I'm sure it's probably rusted shut. Now, I'm not going to take it off there with my hands just in case it's not rusted shut. Yeah, it's rusted shut. I'll go ahead and pull the thing off of there and we'll keep on trucking, man. What do you say? We gotta find something good, don't we? Well, I just found my first semi-interesting find. Got a big old spoon broken off. Don't know how old that is. I can't say for certainty, but it was a great signal. There's a camp right upriver there with a tent and stuff. I thought it was probably a spoon from that, but or at least a target from that, but that could be an older one. So let's slow down a little bit, just kind of work this area a little bit. I mean, it's a nice bend here, lots of bedrock, easy digging. We got a spoon. Hey, check this out, man. It's pretty cool. If we can get down there. Now, it might be too late. There were 3 little turtles swimming around together, but they probably went down where we just saw that little muddy area right there and hid. I don't want to step on it, but yeah, never mind. It's kind of cool because I came up and they were like, all 3 of them all like kind of playing there right on top of the water. But I guess when I put my metal detector down, it plunked, and they figured out that there was a predator about, or possible predator about. You know, the eagles, I know that the bald eagles in this area love to eat those turtles, because I found a nest years ago not too far from here, and underneath the bald eagle nest there were turtle shells everywhere, and they're all ripped apart. You can see we've got the beak on it, just ripped them apart. So they have to be careful around here. Not of the old Chig, but of Mr. Eagle for sure. I haven't seen Rob for like a couple hours. I know he's behind me. I told him I was going to work at my own speed. He could go slower, faster, or stay with me. It didn't matter. But apparently he's going slower. I'm going pretty fast, so he's probably not far from where we first started, which is about 100 miles upriver, it seems. But we're getting close to the area I really want to be in, so where I found stuff before, so I expect we'll start finding at least a few things. Well, I finally have my first interesting find. This is a bashed up piece of lead, so I mean, it almost looks to me like it's probably a fired mini ball, but I cannot make out any. I just can't say for certain. It could be just a piece of lead, but it's not a sinker, and it's a possible Civil War relic. So we're getting closer to the big find. So I'm in an area right here where I'm starting to find a lot of like big pieces of iron. Well, I say a lot. I found this one, and there's another one just above me that really kind of sounds like it could be an artillery shell. I'm going to save it until the current clears out the mud, because of course I'm coming downstream. So I'm just going to work around and just kind of pick up some of this other iron, and we'll go back to that spot as soon as it clears up and see if that is an artillery shell. I've got my fingers crossed, but since we just found that big old chunk of stuff that's, you know, probably post-Civil War, you know, don't get your hopes up. You have to remember, if you're with me, don't get your hopes up. I'm not feeling quite as hopeful about the artillery shell now. It still hasn't cleared up, but I found 2 more objects. One is a small piece of pig iron. This is definitely pig iron. I guarantee it dates to the pre-Civil War, you know, pre-1860s. It could easily date into the 1700s. And I found this, which is a piece of melted iron. That's like you know, pig iron that wasn't quite good enough to be real pig iron, so I'm not quite as hopeful. I could have come off a forge too, you know, Civil War forge or something like that, but since it's pig iron, I suspect it's not Civil War related. Now, the thing I thought was a cannonball was right up in here somewhere, and I hope I can find it again. Gosh, yeah, I already don't see it. I should just go ahead and grab it, you know what I mean? Because there's just so much iron in it. There, right there, that's where it is that I think I got that signal. Let's go and double check. There's just a lot of iron in here, so that's weird I wouldn't find it again. Yeah, that's it. Okay, now that I'm really listening to it, and that could be pig iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and dig it up out of there. If it looks like an artillery shell, you know, I can really feel like it's an artillery shell, then we'll try to get some underwater action. But I mean, it felt solid, but you know, a piece of pig iron would feel solid too, as we well know. Well, this actually cleared up pretty good, so I'm just going to put you under and let you take a look at it, and then I'll try to grab it with a magnet at the same time. All right, hold your breath. Yep, that's definitely our old nemesis, a piece of pig iron. All right. But, you know, that's a good sign. I mean, I'm not hopeful for Civil War stuff, but there could be some nice colonial stuff in this area. Let's take a look at it. It is a nice big old chunk of pig iron that has lots of rock stuck to it, lots of concretions on it. I don't know if we can hit it with this and break some of that off or not to get a better look at it, but I'm going to try. Hold your ears. Nope. You spark, but it was not explosive. Yeah. I will definitely break some of that crust off just to make sure it's pig iron and not part of an artillery shell. But I'll have to find a big rock to smash it on. Meanwhile, still haven't seen Rob, but we'll keep digging. Gave up on the pig iron. I'm still moving downstream. But I tell you, I have seen more sun turtles on this river today than I have seen in a long time. Check this out. Well, there's one. But they have been everywhere. See a little one scooting over there. It's absolutely amazed at how many are on this river. Cute little guys too. If I see another one and I have the camera handy, I'll get it out and show them to you up close. Well, it's just about the end of the day. I haven't seen Rob for, well, most of the day. But I just found a really cool drop Confederate bullet. That is a beauty of a Gardner. Not a Gardner, a Enfield bullet. That looks like it was just made and thrown in there, doesn't it? That's really awesome. Always check the bases on these. A lot of them will have marks in them, like letters or well, symbols and stuff. That'll tell you where they were made sometimes, but and I have never found one that looked as shiny as that. Dug a beautiful mini ball. Nice gray color. That's the color of lead, pretty much. You know, natural lead before it oxidizes. That's a beauty right there. It's back in that clay right there. So let's check and see if there's any more. No, I don't need any more. It's really thick clay. All right, I'm gonna get back at it because I like to find a few more just so we can say we had a decent day. I mean, I've had a decent day already. I've really enjoyed myself. But you know, just like 1 or 2 more bullets. Just dug a pretty little pistol bullet. That's from the Civil War for sure, 100%. Nice. All right, let's keep looking around. We're doing great now, man. That's awesome. So I walked up the river a ways and you know, dug a little bit and kind of waiting for Rob to come down, and I worked my way back down to the kayak where I just started. I just dug another mini ball right in front of the kayak. Isn't that weird? Because this is where I dug that infield a little bit ago, so I guess there's more bullets. Must be bullets in this area. Not real clear on the metal detector. I guess when they're down in that clay, it kind of masks the signals a little bit, but I guess just hang out here for a little bit and hopefully Rob shows up. Hopefully. Well, look what the cat drug in. You see Rob, I know he's kind of along the edge there coming down, so at least he didn't indicted somewhere up there. I was actually beginning to worry about him, but I kept checking the phone and had no messages. So all right, we're probably almost done because we have to get back to the boat room before it gets dark. We have a ways to go yet, so I'll let you see what he found, if he found anything, and I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. What's this? Oh, sweet. Has it been made into a sinker?
I don't know.
I think so. Does that go all the way through? Yeah, sure it has. That's awesome. Civil War bullet made into a sinker.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice lead.
Clap at the back.
I just dug a big old button, and that is a World War I or II Great Seal button, Army button off a uniform. It's pretty wild, isn't it? Rob's over there digging bullets left and right. I'm just digging old World War II buttons. I guess I'll take it. It's something different. So you got 3 of them, 1 hole, huh?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's the one that had the hole. I'm just wondering if it was just a. No, that's cut.
That's it. Yeah, and that other one does too, doesn't it? Yeah, it's got a hole all the way
through. Is it all the way through?
Yeah. They probably had them all on one piece of twine, you know?
Yeah. That's a lot of weight.
Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or